Should pride pillars appear at stations?
OK, this is an interesting one. This actually went viral this week. You might have seen that Network Rail installed a pride pillar at London Bridge station. And this had lots of flags representing, well, not just the Progress Pride flag, that sort of really ugly monstrosity we've all seen, but also one representing gender fluidity, demisexuality, polyamory. And some commentators argue that the pillar breaches the company's regulations because it's essentially a political poster. And we've even had some protests from feminist groups. Let's have a look. Good voices, right?
Beautiful, yes.
They were actually really good singers.
Good.
You didn't expect that at protests. They were harmonising and everything. I mean, for goodness sake.
It was very good. It was very good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Now, I want to ask you about that, Krista, because that pillar, I don't know if you've got an image of the pillar, a close-up image of what it looks like.
Yes, I've seen it.
It's an absolute eyesore. Now, the thing about it, there it is, and the problem with all these flags that are being plastered over this is that it is deeply political. I think a lot of people think that this is just about being nice and just being welcoming. These flags, and particularly the Progress Pride flag, the one at the top with the rainbow colours and then the chevrons, that is now a flag that is associated with a movement that says that gender identity, whatever that means, should supersede biological sex in legislation and society. That, of course, means that women's single-sex spaces are at risk. It means that gay people are at risk because gay people, when they're young, are being put onto puberty blockers and effectively fixed and heterosexualized. In other words, they think they're being pro-gay. They're actually putting up anti-gay flags in the name of gay rights.
I mean, George Orwell couldn't have written it, could he? It's unbelievable. That kind of, to me, it feels very oppressive, you know, and not just because there's far too many colours and it makes me want to be a minimalist, but that's just my aesthetic taste, you know. No, I mean, and why am I'm trying to catch a train to go somewhere. Why do I have to hear this political message at that point?
What, are they going to put up, like, Che Guevara signs and, you know, communist flags and, you know, or anything like that?
It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, it does wind me up, but also because people blame me and gay people. They say, this is all you're doing. I'm like, I want that stuff taken down. It doesn't represent me.
Well, for me, you are the representative of all gay people in
I like
the
to think so. I like to think so.
I'm sorry to
I'm Chief Gay.
Chief Gay? Is that what you go with?
Yeah, you're Chief Gammon, I'm Chief Gay. We should do a double act, Gammon and Gay.
I tell you what, let's do it.
Yeah, well up for that.
But, you know, if there's such a thing as free speech, which, of course, there isn't any longer, I know that sounds facetious, but quite clearly there isn't, you would have a pillar in London Bridge that's got, you know, Millwall on one, Chelsea on the other, whatever it is, you should be able to... This is not about being kind. This is an indoctrination. This is saying, if you continually see this image, you will believe what this image is telling you.
Yeah.
And you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until you and I have transitioned and Chris is a boy.
Well, that's an interesting idea. I'm not going to broach it now, but yeah, so what do we do about this? Because I think the big problem here is that so many people in the public think that this is progressive. They think that this very regressive movement that is making things worse for women, worse for gay people, is actually the opposite. How do we get the message across that this isn't what you think it is?
I'm surprised if they do feel like that. I wonder if they aren't getting fed up with it, It's just far, far too much. And to me, it comes with this kind of accusation. We're doing this because you don't have the right ideas yet. You're not progressive.
Yes.
But I think most modern British people do think that they're progressive, don't they? And they'd be quite offended if they thought that they're being accused of being transphobic or homophobic or any other phobic.
Well, I don't know anyone who's homophobic or transphobic.
No,
I don't know where you find these people.
No.
But they have this idea that this is really commonplace. Is it? Or is this just a spectre of people's imagination?
Well, if it's not, then this whole system crumbles for them because they need that fear for it to work. Because if that fear doesn't exist, then there's no need for pillars full of different colours to make you think.
I mean, I have to clarify. I know that people are still attacked for being gay. I know that there are people who are very unpleasant, but they are a tiny, tiny minority. You're always going to get some psychopaths in society. This is not a broad societal problem in the UK. It just isn't.
No, and that's why we got terms like microaggression.
Yeah.
You've literally got to go down to the micro level in order to identify anything. And
it's a supply and demand issue, right?
Yeah, exactly. There'll be nano-aggressions before we know it.
Yeah.
Nobody will know it. You know, there'll be like pre-fetal aggression.
Yeah. Well, fetus is often kick in the womb. Well, I think that's pretty damn aggressive.
That's domestic violence.
Absolutely outrageous stuff. Cancel the fetuses. Anyway, we're going to have a question now from Adrian.